Coolers.
Check.
Sleeping bags.
Check.
Camera.
Check.
Cell phones.
Yep. Yours and mine, with chargers.
Let's talk about communication. It's the single most important factor in the pilot-controller relationship. The sheer volume of communications between pilots and air traffic controllers makes human error inevitable.
The opportunity for miscommunication is constant, and the consequences range from annoying to potentially dangerous. At the very least, miscommunication results in increased frequency congestion and increased controller workload. Language barriers, speech rate, message length, and content can all contribute to the breakdown of communications.
That's it. We're ready to go to America's Best Golf Course.
Hey, let's get a picture of that brochure.
In this program, we're going to look at some strategies controllers can use to avoid getting into situations where there's a breakdown in communication.
Both pilots and controllers can work towards improving communications by getting back to the basics.
What's up?
I'm a little worried about this map.
Why? What's wrong with the map?
This one's pretty old. I don't think some of these roads exist anymore.
No worries, we can just figure it out as we go.
Can always ask for directions.
Like that's gonna happen.
Okay, let's roll.
Successful communication requires three important steps: transmitting, receiving, and acknowledging. Each of these steps, if not done correctly, can lead to a breakdown in communication. For instance, once the mic is keyed, use a slight pause to ensure that your first word is not cut out. A controller must ensure that the correct pilot is receiving their instructions by using aircraft call signs with each transmission and using them correctly. Use the full call sign on initial contact. Then you may abbreviate call signs by using November or the aircraft type if previously used by the pilot, followed by the last 3 digits or letters of the call sign. What are you doing?
I'm tweeting.
It's important to advise pilots of similar sounding call signs. Unfortunately, it's not always easy to define what constitutes a similar call sign. Call signs with different airline names but the same flight number, airline flight numbers that differ by only 1 digit, or similar sounding words such as 15 and 50 are potentially confusing.
United 412 United, Memphis Center. American 412 is also on the frequency acknowledged.
United 412, roger.
American 412 American. United 412 is also on the frequency acknowledged.
American 412, roger.
I thought you were taking me to a Twins game.
Short and third, Andrea and Alexa. They're my twin nieces.
In air traffic control, we must rely totally on verbal communication to understand and be understood. To reduce the potential for communication errors, pilots and controllers should always use standard phraseology in their transmissions. Proper phraseology allows the pilot to anticipate what's coming next. For example, the pilot expects to hear, "Fly heading 270, not 270 on the heading." When instructions are given in the wrong order, or when standard phraseology is not used, it leaves room for misinterpretation. Using alphanumerics like niner versus 9 and fife versus 5 are effective in eliminating errors. Using voice inflection to emphasize key elements of a transmission helps to clarify the instruction. We're doing pretty good.
All right. What can I do you for?
We're looking for Highway 80. Can you give us directions to Highway 80?
Yeah, I can get you to Highway 80. Say, this is a sweet ride you got here.
Thank you.
It's real nice.
Yeah.
It smells good, too.
Sir, the directions.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, what you want to do is you want to head down yonder down here a couple ways and come across a couple intersections, but pay no mind to them. And, you come on to close to Old Man Johnson's place. You know Old Man Johnson. He's a good old boy. But, long story short, what you need to do is there's a big tree you're going to see out there. It's a big tree. You can't miss it. Bigger than a coon dog. And then from that tree right there, you're going to take a turn, and then you should end up on Highway 42, and 42 will take you to the intersection of Highway 19. And then from 19, you take that a little ways longer until you see this big old fence with a nice little carving of a bluebird, and from there, you make a left, you'll be at Highway 80. Got it?
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Watermelon? Yeah.
Sure you don't want some of this watermelon, Rick? It's really good stuff.
Right now, I'm looking for a big tree. Do not use vague terms that can be misunderstood, such as cleared to previous requested altitude. Be very cautious when using Roger in response to a request.
Some French fries sound really good right now.
Welcome to Classic 50 Burgers, America's best fries and wings. Can I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like 3 burgers, 2 fries, a shake, and an iced tea.
That's 3 burritos, 2 fried onions, and a shake. You want it for free?
No. 3 burgers, 2 fries, a shake, and a tea.
Okay, 3 burgers, 2 fried onion rings, a shake, and an ice.
3 burgers, 2 fries, a tea, and a shake.
Sure, got it, no problem. That'll be $19.75, and we'll have it right out.
Onion rings are nasty. The length and complexity of messages issued by controllers in a single transmission is often cited by pilots as a great source of irritation and potential error. Numerous studies show that too many control instructions in one transmission is the #1 reason for bad readbacks or requests for repeated transmissions. Essentially, the more elements in a message, the higher the memory load imposed upon the pilot. Instructions that contain more than 3 control elements are the most susceptible to error.
I can't believe it took that much to get an order through.
Well, maybe it's because I'm from Minnesota.
Your accent was there?
Maybe, I don't know. Hey!
Whoa,
Hey,
that was quick.
Hey, that was really quick. Thank you. Keep the change.
Dude, they got you onion rings.
Of course they did.
ATC instructions are numerically intensive. Message complexity increases significantly when multiple instructions involving number usage, such as altitude, speed, and headings, are issued in the same transmission. Pausing between bits of information and emphasizing key words in an instruction help ensure a message is understood.
United 476, descend now to flight level 280, then reduce speed to 250. Descend and maintain flight level 240.
Delta 452, traffic, 3 o'clock, 6 miles, southbound, altitude unknown.
I'll bet someone in there could give us directions.
In there?
In there.
Let's do it.
6,000. Can I see 6,500? 6,500 over here. Can I see 7? 7, sir, you got 7, 7, 7, 7,000 right over here. Can I see 750? 7,500. 7,500 over here. 7,500 going once, twice. Sold to the lovely gentleman wearing sunglasses indoors. I hope you enjoy this. A big round of applause for the artwork by Carla Houston. Lot number 4425, a lovely piece of work by the artist Brian Dolvane, with a work entitled Doug. It is a wonderful...
Doesn't that guy seem familiar?
Psychotic movement. It was very brief in the late 80s. Can we start the bidding at, Oh, hello, boys. Come on in, come on in. Let's see how much we can get for this piece of artwork. Start the bidding off at $2,000. Can I see $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, 2,500? Can I see 3,000 right over here? 3,500, 3,500.
Why don't you go get those directions? I think I'm gonna take me a nap right here.
4,000 right over here. Anybody going to 4,500? 4,000 going once, twice. Sold to the gentleman in the back who looks like John Madden with a mustache.
What the heck did you just do?
I think I just bought it.
Well, that was no help. I still have no idea where we are.
Yeah, but I got this great Christmas present for my mother-in-law.
Oh.
Speaking too fast can make transmissions difficult to understand. Controllers must ensure that they are speaking at a rate that will get the message across without requiring the message to be repeated. Speaking at a normal rate and saying what needs to be said is ideal. Speak loud enough throughout the entire transmission. A common error is for a controller's volume to drop off at the end of a transmission, or some controllers end a transmission by raising the pitch of their voice, leaving the pilot expecting more. Clearly enunciate and avoid chewing gum or eating while transmitting. Speech should be clear and concise. Always know what you are going to say before you key the mic. Hesitations and rambling can be confusing. Vocal pauses such as and ah can negatively affect communication.
Is the wind too loud? Is the wind noise too loud? I said, is the wind noise too loud?
No, not really.
Be aware of background noise in the control room. Proper placement of the mic can help minimize this. The microphone should be 1/4 to 1/2 inch from and just below your mouth. Speak clearly and confidently without hesitation, using a normal tone of voice. Listen before transmitting. Don't assume that you already know what the pilot is going to say.
Another area of concern in pilot-controller communications is the pilot readback and the controller hearback. Actively listening for proper readback allows the controller to catch instructions that are misunderstood or were incorrectly given in the first place. Readbacks confirm that the instructions given by the controller were understood.
Hey John, get a picture of that.
What do you think I'm doing?
Several factors can contribute to missing an incorrect readback. Not fully listening, moving on to the next task, pilots responding with no call sign or partial call sign, and controller expectation. Be aware of garbled and unintelligible transmissions. Clarify them before moving on.
Some strategies to avoid missed readbacks include, whenever possible, transmit to the aircraft that just called you.
Listen for the call sign as well as the content in a pilot's readback. If a pilot does not use a call sign in readback, do not assume the correct pilot is responding. We are inclined to hear what we expect to hear. Errors often occur when what is expected is not what is transmitted.
If you cannot fully approve a pilot's request, ensure that the pilot is aware that your instructions differ from their request.
November 356 Papa, requesting 6,000.
November 356 Papa, descend and maintain 8,000. Expect lower in 20 miles.
November 356 Papa, out of 10,000 for 8,000.
Hey, John, get a picture of that for the scrapbook.
Wilco.
Listen as if you expect a pilot's readback to be incorrect. Listen to the entire readback before moving on to the next task. Type in necessary information as you hear it being read back.
Be especially vigilant when listening to a readback of altitude, speed, or heading information. Pilots and controllers need to be aware that catching readback errors is a difficult task, particularly when combined with the other duties that need to be performed simultaneously.
If you catch an incorrect readback, it's important to correct it immediately. Reissue the instructions using a full call sign and use "I say again" for emphasis if needed.
November 473 Papa negative, maintain 10,000. I say again,